Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. Was someone detained last night or no? And someone is saying that they know where Nancy Guthrie is. Is it just more BS or does he really know? A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plans, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Ready? Let's go.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is April 18th, 2026. It is currently 8:39 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Oh, yeah. Good to see everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and boy, is it out there. The last couple days, we have spoken about the DNA that went from the Florida lab, and we learned that there was allegedly, it's been reported that there's hair follicles involved, and that has been sent to the FBI, and they are analyzing this now. Then last night, I think it was last night or the night before last. I think it was last night, maybe night before last. Yeah, last night before last, we were live, and we were talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and then there was another Nancy that was reported missing in Arizona, Pima County, Arizona, very close to where Nancy Guthrie went missing. And about 40 minutes later, it said that she was found. And then kind of all hell broke loose. People starting to say that there was this that someone was being detained in the Nancy Guthrie case and all of this. And then one of the Fox reporters emailed Sheriff Nanos. He replied with a simple nope, just a simple nope. Uh, so, is this reporting? I've said from pretty much jump in this case. I've never seen a case like this as far as reporting goes, because it is truly everywhere. Like it doesn't matter which way you go, people are reporting in so many different directions. Yes, this happened. No, this didn't happen. Yes, no, yes, no. And you really don't even know which way to turn in this case. And a lot of people are blaming Pima County now um, for this. And we're going to get into it, all of that. But before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button, we greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would be kind and share this live out, hit the share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media, really does help out. Also, you get 3 hypes a week. If you don't use it, you lose it. Please consider hyping this video. If you have any hypes left, you have to do it after the live stream. It's just kind of like in the comments area, and you can like send points. It's like a great big uh, major thumbs up, I guess you could say. So, a lot to get into this evening. I don't even know where to begin. Lord have mercy. Um, is this Pima County's fault? Is it reporting's fault? Is it everyone's fault? I don't know. You decide on that. I'm just here to tell you about it. Let me say hello to a few of you in chat. He not lob, Ginger, Susan. Okay, okay. Uh, o- Oko, good to see you. I was going to say OKKO. Good to see you, Ginger, Susan, Jeanette, good to see you, Adele, Brandy, Shannon, good to see you, my dear. Not Love, Mama Dukes, Deb, good to see you, love. Miss Susan, Connie, Robin, Christy, Sherry, good to see you. Fire Girl. Um, yeah, Yeah, and so another thing we're gonna talk about tonight, there's a guy, another one, that says he knows where she's at. He knows where Nancy's at. A lot of people are side-eyeing him. We're gonna get to that, uh, in a minute as well. Crystal Pistol, good to see you. Ratui, that's okay. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you, Robin. Good to see everyone. Really appreciate you all. Jennifer, thank you. 8 months. And appreciate you being here. Really do, my friend. Good to see you. Miss Rachel, thank you for renewing your membership, brother. Really appreciate you. Good to see you, Miss Rachel. Thank you so much, my friend. And Rachel, thank you again, baby. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you, Joyce. Good to see you, my dear. Hey, Joyce. Good to see you. PGH. Hello. Robin, Cherry, everyone. All right. So if we look at, let's get to, so, hey, Connie. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Pin Mike. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Miss Connie. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you, my friend. Good to see you. If you look at this photo right here, um, first of all, Pima County had her first name spelled wrong. Her name is Nancy, but they had it spelled incorrectly. A 5-letter name. They couldn't even get that right. But if you kind of look, I can see how particularly this could confuse the public. I could see how it because I mean, yeah, there's us that follow this case every single day and follow the Nancy Guthrie case very, very closely, right? But this, if you've just been kind of watching, a little bit of here, a little bit there, like the general public does, I can see how this confuses people in the Nancy Guthrie case because it kind of looks like Nancy Guthrie, especially if her face is covered up. Especially if her face is covered up, right? So I get it. And, the Pima County has been speaking about Nancy Guthrie for nearly 80 days now. There's a photo that very much looks like, Nancy Guthrie, especially with it covered up. Nancy, obviously the last name is different, but even some of the streets were the same streets that they were looking at in the Nancy Guthrie case. That's how close it was. And so Pima County didn't make it clear, right? Now, again, for us that cover this, I get it. I get it. Like, well, we know it's not Nancy Guthrie. Come on. But we're not other people. We're not the general public in this case, right? We follow this every single day. So there's that. No Nads had said Nancy found no last name. Yes, he did, Sassy. That's exactly what I was going to get to. He said, Nancy's been found, no last name. That's right. That's right. Sheriff No Nads said this. That's what he said. And come on now. Come on. It's crazy. A lot of us are, Ginge. A lot of us are. Dolores, good to see you, Mamacita. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, Mama. Love you to pieces. Thank you for your support. You like the shorts? I mean, he kind of reminds me of Reno 911. Remember that show? I think it's Reno 911. Except it's Nanos 911. That's him and Sheriff Doofy kind of mixed. as Nanos needs to step down. He needs to step down when he got elected, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother story. But he is under a lot of fire for this. The media has really gone after him, uh, speaking about not making it clear which Nancy he was speaking about. And think about it like this. Um, what? Just when you think it's personal, targeted the same face, figure, and name the same. You think the same no, no. I don't think they are related whatsoever. Um, Stage 3, cancer survivor says, I was a secretary for 37 years. I find typos and failures of proofing public documentations before release super annoying. I mean, yeah, we all make typos and are human. I get that. But man, like, it's really important, particularly when it's a missing persons case, right? Like, it's really important to have the information correct the first time. You got to proof it before you put it out. So then, while this was going on, there was a lot of uh, things going around that there was someone was being detained. And again, there's mixed reporting on it, and we're going to get into that here in just a second. But Nano says no, but I'll be the first to say, who believes Nanos at this point? Who even believes that man? Does anybody believe him with anything? But she did. And Nancy Grace, hey Dawn, good to see you, honey. Uh-oh, Dawn's late. Dawn is late. Uh-oh, let me see here. Do I have my thingy? Let me look. Oh, okay. Dawn, to the office, please. You're being paged. Dawn, to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a late slip for Dawn. Late slip for Dawn. Good to see you, Dawn. Yeah, I don't believe him either. I don't believe him either. Hey, from Vermont. Hey, Lisa. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this. So let me pull Aunt Nancy up, Auntie Nancy, because she has some reporting on this, and she could change it. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for her or anything, but this is what she says right here.
Sitting south of Tucson and California, a bombshell arrest in the disappearance and death of a young teen girl, Celeste. Tonight,
Oops.
D4VD David reason south of Tucson, but had been reports in the late night hours that a person south of Tucson had been detained for questioning. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the same general area where someone was detained before? Several weeks ago, nearly at the get-go, and everyone was so happy that maybe the case had been resolved, and then it turned out the person was released. In fact, in that case, the SWAT team rolled out for one of the first times since Nancy Guthrie went missing, and they were poised. Also nearby, a hostage negotiator.
So if you recall, with the Nancy Radkovich case, she's again 82 years old. She on the flyer it said at 3:40 p.m. she was last seen River Road and Campbell Avenue. We're very familiar with Campbell Avenue, right? It's been written about. It's very close, right where Nancy is, right? So I can't believe Pima County didn't make it extraordinarily clear in this. But here they're Nancy's talking about Grace is talking about someone allegedly being detained.
We're told, but it all fizzled out. What do you know?
Nancy, that is exactly what happened. And it appears that we're right back in that same general area as we had been before. And now we're being led to the trough, the possible suspect. There's possible new information, but Pima County not jumping in, nobody providing us with a lot of information on this, Nancy, other than what we're putting together by saying, hey, they're in the same general area that we've already been once before.
But do you guys think that this was, in your opinion, hey, Cinnamon, David singing, songwriter, not rapper anyways, LA jails, got to eat that. Do you guys think that it's related to Nancy's case? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it could be, but Sheriff Nano says no. Deb, there's just different reporting on this. There's just different reporting on this. And I think this had to do with the I'll call her the new Nancy, Rodkovich's case, the 82-year-old that was missing. And I think that made people get the reporting wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. And she was last seen in a what did the flyer say? It said she was last seen. She left the area in a silver Toyota Avalon sedan. She was wearing a pink jumpsuit and black sandals.
And remember, Nancy, you mentioned that was a big.
Oops, I missed somebody there. Hey, Miss Bella, thank you so much, my dear. Welcome to the program. I appreciate you. You guys are known here, Joella. They're so cute. Thank you, my love. Welcome to the Pearl family, y'all. Welcome. Miss Bella. Thank you so much, Miss Bella. Appreciate you.
Big undertaking that last time with the SWAT team, a negotiator. They had the law enforcement had a plan that they were putting into action, and it ended up being nothing. Now we're 2 months down the road, and a lot more information has come in. We're getting some DNA evidence back, and now back in the same place. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next.
Well, the good thing this time to Tammy Ballard joining us, DNA and crime scene consultant.
I think also with this recent DNA that was in the news with the hair fibers and all that, in my opinion, I think that made people think, oh, yep, this has got to be something, because of the FBI is reporting that, well, not the I scratch that. The FBI is not reporting. There is reporting such as ABC News, which they have really good reporting, particularly strong ties with sources at the FBI. They are reporting that the FBI has the information from the lab from Florida. They're also doing their own information or their own testing on that hair fiber and other DNA. So I do think we are getting a lot closer to finding out who did this to Nancy. And it wouldn't surprise me if there is some warrants, more knocking down doors, if you will, in the future, whether it's been someone they've already knocked their doors down or more to come. Who knows? But I do believe we're getting a lot closer. Do we get to know where other Nancy was and how she had been missing? I think she had some dementia or something. Or is that not usually released to the public? Is there a weirdo nabbing Nancy's? Right? Is there someone nabbing Nancy's? No, I think this was kind of, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, like, this is Arizona, right? People move to Arizona and Florida all the time, particularly elderly people. They're retiring. They want to live, their days out in the sun. You can't blame them. It makes their body feel better, their allergies feel better, or whatever. Um, is it just me buffering? Am I buffering? Let me know.
Crime scene investigator, reconstructionist, former DNA criminalist for the San Diego Police Department Crime Lab. Tammy, thank you for being with us tonight. Tammy, we also know that contrary to what Nano said at the get-go, in the last weeks, the FBI has confirmed that they obtained DNA from inside Nancy Guthrie's home. Many, including me, believe it was from her bedroom. We are also learning from sources that it is, in fact, a hair. Now, we could do a lot of finger pointing right now about why Nano's team didn't find it, what a miracle it is that the FBI found it weeks later. Reality.
Now, is that what it is? I mean, Pima County, we know that they released the house within 48 hours. And again, what worries me, not only about them finding Nancy and finding who did this, is after this goes to trial. After this goes to trial, how are you going to explain that you released? I mean, the defense is going to have a field day with Pima County. They are going to eat their lunch when you cleared it within 48 hours. And then the FBI comes back and there is reporters, deliverymen, all adult protection workers walking on the outside of that house and even on the inside of the house. It was, whenever it is a crime scene, even if there is nobody there, they have someone usually sitting outside making sure nobody can go in, right? People can plant things or whatever. They're going to have a field day. And which could really, really help the person who did this to Nancy, because it could get thrown out. And sometimes, and I know, it is very frustrating whenever things are thrown out and you're like, damn, if the jury just knew this piece of information, but it's thrown out because it's compromised or whatever. So, yep, exactly. And damn, I'll never forgive Nanos if
they found it.
that happens.
Now, we understand it's.
I mean, this could literally let someone walk. It could literally, one thing that is thrown out could let someone walk that did this to an 84-year-old. Right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I mean, all you have to say is like, the defense is like, how many homicide cases have you solved, sir? Zilch, right? When did you release the house, sir? Within 36 to 48 hours after. And was there anybody, that was on the property after that? Well, yeah, delivery guys, YouTubers, who else? Delivery guys, all that stuff. And there was no one watching the house? No. Out. Pool guy. I mean, just everything. So our best right now is that hair, that single hair. Yeah. And if the FBI wasn't there, we wouldn't even have that, I don't think. Right? Oh, someone sent a gift. Who sent a gift? Can one of the mods tell me who sent a gift so I can thank them? That may not let any evidence after the crime scene was released then reopened. I know. It's a botched job. 101, absolutely.
The hair. If that's true, Tammy Ballard. What does that mean? And I also know this, Tammy, that the FBI is testing it at their labs. It has not been sent to the teacher.
Sheriff Nanos, if you would have just gotten off your tuchus and got your pride to the side and just allowed this man behind you and the FBI to go there, send it to their lab, we probably would know the hell who this is right now. Right? So we're at day 70, close to 80 days. And now we are just now, after 80 days, the FBI is getting it when they could have had it on day fucking 1. And guess what? They didn't know what the hell they were doing the first 2 days, Pima County. There could have been evidence that was lost in those 2 days. Have no clue. Because we are dealing with literally single fucking fibers here. Talk about splitting hairs. Well, that's what we're looking for here. Oh, the welcome mat. Yeah. All of it. It's so frustrating.
Pet lab.
I mean, it's frustrating for us. Can you imagine if this was your mother or your family member? I would be out at the Pima County Sheriff's Department, probably screaming.
That Nanos has had a contract with.
It actually is the greatest time for there to be hair recovered from a scene because the technology right now is on point. In the old days, you had to have that hair, which is also very hard to find. So you have to give the crime scene people some credit because it is that's a difficult evidentiary piece right there. But once it's located, now is one of the best times in the forensics world because you used to have that really great hair root for DNA. And now you have these laboratories across the country that are able to extract a DNA.
Yeah. And that's a very good point. I have not seen this part, but it used to be you had to have a root. And we all know what a hair looks like if a root's plucked out. It's got like skin on it. It's got more DNA to it. But now you can literally take the entire hair and find DNA on it. I think it's only one side of the family, if I'm correct on that. So it takes more work to do it, and it takes more time, and it takes more money to find it. But if you've got the root part of the hair, then that's usually expedited, which we don't know what kind of if there's root on this hair or not. If you remember, well, let me think. No.
A profile from a hair that is not even having that great root material. So what we call rootless hairs.
Joining us is Tammy Ballard, and she is referring to nuclear DNA from a hair, which you get from a root. What she's talking about is a nuclear.
Nuclear means you're like you're both sides of your family.
Hair sample where the root is obtained. In the root of your hair, you have your dad's DNA and your mother's DNA, nuclear, like the nuclear family, nuclear DNA. If the root is not still attached to the hair, no problem. We now have mitochondrial DNA, which is only from your mother's side, but it can still be a match. No problem. I'd always rather have nuclear, but if I don't have it, fine. What we have is a hair now being analyzed by the FBI. What exactly, Tammy, is the difference between analyzing, let's just say, blood or sperm, and let's go with the least desirable, mitochondrial DNA?
I mean, you would think, you would think that this guy, there's got to be some saliva somewhere, right? Because he's got that mouth flashlight. And you would think that he's touched a lot of things there. Now, another thing that I've not really heard anyone mention, we're thinking about hair on a head. Right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's a hair on a head. It could be his eyebrows. It could be somewhere on his body, his legs, or it may not even be his. It may be someone that is in his family that he carried in, because we are carrying fibers with us every day. You get in, okay. How many of you have a dog that sheds? Put a 1 in chat if you have a dog that sheds. If you have a hypoallergenic dog, you're lucky. I have a pug rather, and she sheds everywhere. This, have you ever like got in your car or had your dog in your car, and you see dog hair in your car or wherever? It happens. Cats, anything like that. So that happens to humans too. If you sweep out, particularly like right there on the side of your seats or whatever, it'll kind of all collect there, or like at the side of your bed or whatever. When you're sweeping it out, it could be something that they brought in the house. Now this guy right here, he seems to be covered from head to toe, right? But just because he's covered from head to toe doesn't mean they're he could be carrying something, and something, you ever got like your pants or your shirt caught on a doorknob or something, and it pulls your pants leg up or your arm or wherever, and it could fall. It can literally be anything. Could be a nose hair. Absolutely. So we're not talking I know we automatically think that the hair is from our head, but no, we have hair all over us, right? Yeah. Also tomorrow, guys, Dr. Vanna will be doing a dual stream together on this case. You'll want to join us tomorrow with Dr. Vanna. Black wool coats pick up everything. Absolutely. Sure does. Right, a family hair, yeah.
from a hair.
It could be yes, it could be a family hair, and, whenever they interview if they haven't interviewed this person, right here, they're gonna say, have you ever been in Nancy Guthrie's home?" Right? And if they've never been in Nancy Guthrie's home, uh, and they say no, and they have some DNA, well, they're in a world of trouble. Now, if let's say this is someone that works with, like a repairman or whatever. Now they could say, "Hey, yeah, I've been in her home before," and that'll be a little bit harder for prosecutors. It'll make them have more work.
What's the difference in those two DNA analysis? For those of you just joining us, we hear in the night hours someone, a male, south of Tucson, detained for questioning, but then everything went radio silent. What happened, if anything? That said, the FBI has let it out that they have DNA and we believe it's a hair. So how is the analysis different, Tammy Baller, between, let's just go with a mitochondrial hair analysis versus blood?
So that's a good, brassy lady. That's a good question. So what happens if it belongs to someone in the family? Will it be dismissed? But what if they are the perp? Then what? Great question. So, what has been reported before is the DNA that they found in Nancy's home was unrelated to the family, right? Was unrelated to the family. I think, again, my opinion, but I think we could all pretty much safely say that this is not Tommaso, right? I think we can safely say that. This doesn't look like Tommaso. Tommaso is a much older man than this guy. Uh, I know that there are people that says the walk looks the same and all that. I have looked at it at length. There's similar walk, but they do step much differently on the way that they pick up their feet and stuff. I've looked at it literally frame by frame before. So it's not Tommaso. Now, again, does that mean nobody else is involved? Absolutely not, right? This person could be the only person involved. There could be another person with him. And just because someone unalives someone or kidnaps someone doesn't mean that they are the ones that wanted them kidnapped or unalived, right? So, how do you think the perp is? I think he is. I'm going to say 30 to 40. I would say probably, let me say 35 to 44 ish. I would say somewhere around there.
Blood or sweat analysis.
I do want to go one step further on the hair technology with respect to rootless hairs. So yes, the ideal is a nice root for nuclear DNA. Then the next step could be mitochondrial DNA, which is on that maternal line. That would be good to compare to everybody that they already have reference samples for to make sure that it's nobody from Nancy Guthrie's family.
Good to see you,
but
Jeanette.
Once they do that, if there is sufficient material, they don't just have mitochondrial in their wheelhouse, they can actually sequence it. And that's how they can use that for the genealogy searches. So the technology.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Passion Flower. Tommaso looked old walking to the memorial, but walked more youthful around the house in the last video. He sure did. He sure did. And, some days, especially if like we're angry, we'll walk a little bit more, with a little more strut in our steps. But I would put it in my opinion, at a 99% chance that this is not Tommaso, in my opinion.
Technology is advanced beyond.
When you say sequence, you mean,
It doesn't mean
you know what? Let me have you explain it. What do you mean by sequence?
The SNP technology, the single nucleotide poly.
And again, like I was saying the other day, right? Think about this. Hold on, let me fix my glasses 1 second. Think about this. So whenever this guy, we've been talking about this guy, like, probably had help. At least a lot of us feel that way. But we know, allegedly, and if the reporting is correct, on January 11th, this guy was at the front of the house. He messed with the camera a little bit because it's moved from the 11th to the 1st, February 1st. You can tell it's been moved a little bit. He doesn't have his backpack on or anything like that, right? Appears to be the same guy, very similar dress, ski mask, same build, all of that. If there was more than one involved, why do we only see this one guy? 2 different dates. You get what I mean? Like, why do we only see this guy dressed very similar on 2 dates? It's not another guy. Nobody talks about that part. So kind of makes me wonder now, he might have been alone. Maybe this is why there is a $1.275 million reward and nobody has came forward. Because again, the more people involved, the more likely someone's going to rat. So I think it's very likely now that he might have been just alone. And again, I still think that this guy is not the only one that knows. I do feel like there is outside influences to this guy based upon his walk. I don't feel like he's the pumped up enough to walk at Angel Kiss. Is good to see you. I don't feel like he's on the mission to, I think he likely unalived Nancy right there. I used to think that Nancy was probably unalived before she got outside, but now I'm thinking that Nancy probably walked outside. Walked to the front of the car, right there at the front of the porch. Because if he's alone, it's going to be very difficult for him to carry someone. It's going to be it's going to be very hard for him to carry someone. Could he? In a pinch, maybe. But I cannot tell you how hard it is to just, dead weight. Now again, I don't think that he's the only one that knows. That is for sure. I don't think she's the only one that knows. But we'll see.
Polymorphism technology that is being utilized for the forensic genetic genealogy testing, that is actually in the wheelhouse for it's not a lot of laboratories, but some select laboratories that are able to do rootless.
Could be. It could be. He could have had a girlfriend or wife. He could have had a homie to help him. You know what I mean? Someone he really knows or trusts, but I don't know. Again, if the reporting is correct at the 11th, that this guy, when we see him on camera, why are we not seeing another person? We only see the same guy.
Hairs. So yes, mitochondrial is something that will probably be assessed or possibly be assessed, but there's also this advancement in the technology to be able to utilize sequencing for rootless hairs.
Okay, back to the question, Tammy Ballard. Oh, hold on. Dave Mack, before I get to Tammy Ballard on the difference in the FBI at Quantico analyzing the hair versus sweat or blood that may have been found at the scene. I'm not talking about Nancy Guthrie sweat and blood. I'm talking about the perp sweat and blood, particularly sweat from the bite light onto his hand and then hand onto surfaces in the home. We understand, well, we all saw, Savannah Guthrie introduced Hollywood star Anne Hathaway. They went to a break.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. What if porch guy was not putting flowers in front of the camera to hide his ass, but to hide Nancy coming out of the front door? That's a good question. Think about this, though. Think about the video. It doesn't appear that there is blood in the video, right? It doesn't. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. It doesn't appear that there is any sort of blood in, let me see here. Come right back to this. One second. Is this it?
White female, 84 years of age, 5'2" medium build, private blue. Nancy has high blood pressure, pacemaker, and cardiac issues. I can tell you units, somebody copy and attempt to locate for a...
No, that's the vehicle of interest. Here, let me pull it up here. I'll do it like this. Okay. Let's, damn it. One second. I apologize. Nancy Guthrie. No. Here we go. All right. This video right here. If we go to this, make it as big as I can. He's using these flowers, but it doesn't, in my opinion, appear that Nancy has been taken out yet. Zoom in on what you just showed. What do you mean? What did I just show? I don't know what you mean by that. Let me see here. Here, right? When he does this right here, see, we have 3. You know what's interesting to me? Hold on a second. notice? Hold on. Do they not show? They're not this is interesting, guys. The FBI is not showing the photo of them without the backpack. Are they? Let me make sure. Backpack, 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 gun, backpack, backpack, back. Okay. Look at there. This is with the flowers. I just now noticed that. Look at that. Nobody's noticed that. Kicking butt this evening. Let's go. Okay. Why are they not showing it without the backpack? Look, there appears to be, there's no blood here. There's no blood here at all. You can't see him very well in no backpack photo. It doesn't matter. It's still part of the file that they released. Why? Okay, let me see this. There's no blood here, which kind of makes me wonder has you know what I think now? Sorry, I'm thinking. You know what I think now? I am thinking that he has already done whatever he's done to Nancy here. And he was trying to cover up the camera to take her outside. And he couldn't do it. He didn't cover it up. So he ends up ripping it off. Because he doesn't come through the front door. You're not going to go. You're not going to go through the front. He's not going to go through the front door first. It's going to be the hardest place to get in the house. Right? He's not going to come here and cover up the camera and then go in. He's going to go around back, do what he did, in my opinion. And then he's either going to carry her out or she's going to walk out, but he doesn't want that scene. He doesn't want that scene. Because this is why we see him more relaxed now, in my opinion. This is why he's more relaxed. Remember, he comes around from this side right here. right? He's coming around from out back. Yeah, Charlotte's Webbing. I don't think that's blood drops, in my opinion. If you notice down here, because this is night vision, there are times that it'll look like blood spots. I've really zoomed in on it, and to me, it's you can see like the spots here in the corner. You know what I think he's doing? I used to think he was ringing the doorbell. I think he was getting ready to go through this to get Nancy. But I think it's already been done. And I think he's getting ready to go through the door and he thought, "Oh fuck, that front camera." That front camera. Then he's like, "Oh, let me let me cover that up shit." Kind of thing. Watching. Yeah, that's a dude, I think. When he comes up. I don't know. I think he's already done it at this point. I think that's why he is already relaxed. There has to be footage of him taking Nancy out if they got this footage. If they can retrieve the footage, right? If they can retrieve the footage. And again, you know, one of my biggest questions on this has been, why have they not given out more on this guy if they don't know who he is? Right? If they don't know who he is, why not give us a little bit more on what he could be driving or they could be in? He had a walkie-talkie in his pocket. Maybe. We still don't know that's 100% it's a walkie-talkie or a scanner or what. Flashlight. I mean, it could be anything. If you broke in and entered through the back and needed to leave out the front, you should leave another quick way out, just in case. Well, most people go out the same way that they came in. The only thing I can think of, if it's not staged, the back door is not staged, then the only way I can think of it is, for instance, he was going to take Nancy out. Let's say she's alive. And Nancy says, "You're going to have to make it as easy for me, like I am disabled," right? Like they know like she's on a cane and she can't walk very far. I can't go out the back way. Like I've got to go, you got to make it the easiest for me. And they might have already propped that back door open. Right? Like, okay, I'm going to get this ready for her. I'm going to prop this back door open and we're going to, you know, take her out the back door. And she's like, "I can't walk that far." You know, she's barefoot in a nightgown and 84 years old without her hearing aids and all of that. Most likely just woke up, or They made it easier on themselves. They propped that back door open and thought, oh, maybe we should go out this way because it'll be easier for us. Right? Hey, Brenda, good to see you. Hey, Trishy, I think it was coordinated by an insider, in my opinion. I think, again, I think this is very, very close to home to Nancy. My thought that they were going out of the way they came in, and because things went wrong, they had to go out the front. I don't feel like she walked out, though. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, none of us do, right? But I'm just talking about two scenarios that I could see. One with her walking out, and one with her not walking out. Because one or the other happened, right? She either walked out or she didn't, right? That's truly the $1.275 million question. What's the motive? What's the motive to want an 84-year-old dead when statistically she would be dead in a year anyways, because she's 84 years old. Most people don't live past 78, the average life. That's average. Now, some people live to be 101. Some people live to be 84. Some people live to be 86. Some people live to be 60. We're talking about average. Who would want her dead? Who couldn't stand for Nancy to live another year or another 5 years even? They really couldn't take it anymore. And that is very, very interesting when you think about that. Is it money? Is it, I know so much about you, and they consider it a threat? Someone desperate, absolutely. Someone desperate, for sure. Justin, I sent you a picture titled This Picture. Okay. What's it about? Oh, that looks like an AI photo. What's that? That's an AI photo. Julie Bug, that's an AI photo. Yeah, people are putting all kinds of crazy shit out there right now. Putting Nancy covered in a sheet on a gurney and just all kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous. In my next 13 years, I'm living it up. Live it up every second, girlfriend. Live it up every second. Oh, no, you're fine, baby. I'm glad I told you. I just don't, I'm glad I, told you what it is. Because some of them look real and people get fooled by them. Donna, thank you so much for your support, my friend. Really appreciate that. Make sure you thank Donna Bartos. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate that. And thank you so much for being a member here on the Pearl family as well. Guys, consider becoming a Pearl. We'd love to have you. Could a family member owe money and went after mom? I mean, anything is possible, right? But is it probable? Is that the most probable thing out of everything we can think of? I don't, in my opinion, no, that's not the most probable thing. Is it possible? Absolutely. But I don't think it's probable. I think this has to do with some sort, I think it will boil down, in my opinion, to financial or feel like they're wronged. For instance, I can give you for instance, someone thought that they were going to be in a will with more than they were. And maybe Nancy changed something in her will, perhaps. And they felt wronged by that. That would be a financial and a feeling wronged, right? It could be, family are just not always in the will. So let's make, that clear. Family's not, you can put anybody in your will, by the way, right? I have no idea who this person is. And if any creator or anyone tells you that they do, they're lying flat out to you. Lying. They can have an opinion, but if they tell you they know who it is, they're lying to you. Now, I do think there are a lot of suspicious things that we've looked at. I think there's a lot of suspicious things about certain members of the family that the police have continually went back on. I think there's some suspicious things about, the dailies and all of them. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Hate in a dangerous person mind can be deadly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lorenz says, I feel like it's a service person who wanted a ransom, but she passed away on the kidnapping. Some people feels like this went wrong. But I don't think anything goes right 100% of the time. But I feel like this went as perfectly as they wanted it to. Hey, Sense of Soul, good to see you, baby. Again, there was nothing else taken. There was nothing else taken. Okay, think about this. Think about this. She's 84 years old. If a 30 or 40-year-old man comes in her house at 3 o'clock, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he has a GUN, it's not going to be hard to get her to submit, right? You're the one in charge. She's an 84-year-old woman with a bad heart, pretty much immobile. What can go wrong? I mean, seriously. Okay, Julie, thank you, honey. What can go wrong? Right? She's not going to listen. Okay, well then they unalive you. Right? You don't go with them, then they'll unalive you. Like what can go wrong with a 30 or 40-year-old man that tells this woman? I mean, it's like a meek sheep going to the slaughterhouse. There is no competition between a 30 or 40-year-old young man, middle-aged man, and an elderly 84-year-old woman. The strengths are entirely different. So, people can, I hear a lot of it. It might have went wrong or whatever, but I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think it went exactly how they wanted it, pretty much. Again, if it went wrong, let's say if it went wrong, they were there to, which I don't know of anybody that's going to plan, uh, stalk Nancy's place out weeks in advance to get something in the house and not take it, right? To get something in the house and not take it. So think about that. If you'd much rather be arrested for theft than you would unaliving someone, right? You would much rather want that. And if I'm going in there and I'm planning sitting outside the house weeks prior to this happening, and the evening, she goes to her family's house or whatever, then I'm whether she's dead or alive, I'm there to get what I'm there to get. I'm going to get whatever I came there to get. Right? Period. I'm taking all the jewels. I'm taking all the electronics, whatever I'm there to get. That's so important. But people that do, like armed robberies, they're not planners like this. We're not talking about people breaking into the Smithsonian here, right? We're talking about general armed robberies, and generally they just want you to sit still, look away, might tie you up or whatever. It was absolutely targeted, Rotui. Yes. Deb, thank you so much, Mama. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. In my opinion, backpack footage was after they harmed her and was filled with horrible items, like the long serial unaliver with the backpacks filled with body parts so no evidence could be found. No, I don't think so, Deb. I mean, you're not. I just want to make sure I'm understanding it right. You think that there might have been some like body parts in the bag? Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm understanding that right. No, I don't think that. I think I think what was in yeah, it would be very messy. It would be very, very messy. Uh, yeah, I can't. You have a lot of blood inside of you. Several pints of blood, and it is very. First of all, it's very time consuming to dismantle someone, right? Yeah, exactly, Linda. Exactly. Lunatic, but those Long Island girls are literally dispersed them in bags and backpacks. Yeah, but he had to do that. But you got to remember the Long Island guy, he did that whenever his family was out of town. See, I don't even think it was a cleanup kit necessarily. I mean, there could have been things, but I think it was tarps, bags, maybe more gloves. In my opinion. But it's a very messy job to do that. He over disconnected. It would have shown death before that. He over disconnected. It would have shown death before that. I don't understand what you mean by that, my dear. And a serial unaliver is not a targeted hit, in my opinion. No. I mean, there are people. I mean, you can buy body bags. Yeah, you can buy body bags, but most people don't buy body bags. They buy the construction bags from Walmart or Lowe's, and that's what they use. It will be over summer, but hopefully soon. Blood can drip from the nose and mouth if a heart attack. Yes, there's a lot of different aspects that can make someone bleed from the nose or the mouth or whatever. If she was carried, I definitely don't think it came from her mouth. I definitely don't think it came from her mouth. Nose, maybe. I still think it came from her arm, hand area.
And when we came back, no Savannah Guthrie, she was called off the set. Many speculated she got word of a development in the Nancy Guthrie case. Was it to do with the person detained? Was it some other development? She came back. And what that tells me, Dave Mack, is she was not told that Nancy had been found either dead or alive, or she would have left and been on the next plane out to Tucson. So it's not that. But she did leave the set. So that's another factor to throw into what we're already learning about a potential detainee, not arrest, a detainee detained for questioning in the nighttime hours south of Tucson. What can you tell me about that?
Well, Nancy, when you get right down to it, Savannah introduced an upcoming segment with Anne Hathaway. And when viewers came back to the scene, Hoda Kotb was doing the interview. Nothing was said, just Savannah's not there. And, it makes, this from a network level, the preparation that goes into having a segment like that is pretty intense. So for Savannah to be taken away at that moment, not something they would do lightly. It was obviously to get her information because they might have been afraid that this information was going to be leaked and it could be leaked before they were able to get it to her. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Now, what actually happened with regard to the DNA, the hair, whatever they found. Again, investigators being very cagey on what they're telling us. We know that we've got multiple labs involved in bringing back multiple results to the Pima County Sheriff's Department and being able to analyze it with the FBI. So there's a lot of different things coming to play. But what did happen is during the course of the day yesterday, after Savannah walked off the set, we found out that some DNA results have come back and that investigators are looking at this DNA information.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime.
We don't know for sure what kind of DNA it is. And in the last hours, as we go to air, Tammy Ballard, the Pima County Sheriff, that would be Nanas, puts out the first statement they've put out in weeks and weeks and weeks. It seems like the online sleuths are doing more than the Pima County Sheriffs are doing. But that said, stating that they are cooperating with the FBI. Okay, that's not exactly a bombshell, but could you very simply break it down? If it is a hair, how easy is that to analyze? How long does it take as opposed to analyzing sweat or blood?
Well, the biggest difference is that the hair, if it has a nice big root, that's going to have.
I put it somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but I had a video of her being like when she went off the set thingy. But I don't know what I did with it now. So she left the interview. Yeah. So what happened? She was with Anne Hathaway because By the way, The Devil Wears Prada #2 is coming out. I don't know if it's out yet, but I cannot wait to see it. #1. But, Anne Hathaway's probably talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2, and she was interviewing Anne, and then it goes to break, and then then it's Hoda that pops up next, and you're like, "How did that happen?" So, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. If taken in a car, there would be blood, secondary crime scene. Now, where is that car? Exactly, doggy. Where is that car? And more importantly, well, not more importantly, but why are they not asking us more, well, the people in Pima County, why are they not saying, if you seen, for instance, I'm not saying this is the car, a 2022 yada 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 car on this street, between this street and this street, in the hours of this time and this time, please contact us, if it was on your camera, or anything. They just said, well, if you see anything, send us, on your camera, send it to us. That's not enough. That's not enough. People need to know a specific make and model, right? Uh, no one really talks about the ex-husband. Did anyone hear that Annie had an ex-husband and that they were raising a son? Could just be a rumor. No one talks about it anymore. Nope. Nope. I think Tucson, just think there needs more evidence and proof just to be sure to build a case. I sure hope we find out if Justin's thoughts were right because they. Thank you, Grace. So to me, when they say those kinds of things, uh, it seems like if law enforcement is not going to ask you things they already know, they are only going to ask you questions that they need potential help with. Generally speaking, generally. And we just have not seen. Now, there was a lot of reporting that it was really hard for them to find a vehicle, a vehicle. But then notice one thing I find interesting is after they went to the Daly's home and Carlos's home, we haven't really heard a lot more about that. So I don't know. Oh, Sheila, I hope you feel better, baby. Love you, honey. After the way the case has been handled by Pima County, it's going to be difficult to get a conviction, regardless, in my opinion. I think that they're going to have to work extra hard. Yeah. Yeah. I do. I do for sure. 1 second. I'm gonna pull. Let me see here. So, by the way, let me show you this real quick before we get to this. Oops. Yep. Okay. Oh, thank you, Miss Ginger. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. How do we know that nothing has been taken from Nancy Guthrie's home? Was it ever officially reported or just speculation? His backpack could be full of her stuff, in my opinion. Good question. Um, let me see if they've actually made that statement. Well, they did say Nanos did say, I know in the first when he was standing at the house that he said nothing was taken, and then he said her hearing aids were still there, her car was still there, her phone was still there as well. but then you question, like, and they brought homicide in very quickly, and you're just kind of like, but they also said, kind of making it seem like, they said she went against she went against her will. That's what it was. Right. Uh, Nancy was kind of a minimalist, to an extent. Like, she wasn't a pack rat. She wasn't a pack rat by any stretch of imagination. We've seen pictures of her house. She doesn't have like a lot of knickknacks or anything. She seemed like she could, but I'm sure she had a lot of jewelry, I would assume. But is it jewelry worth anything? Some people don't keep their jewelry, like a lot of their prized possessions in their home. They'll keep it in a safe box or whatever as well. AZ Man, thank you so much, my friend. Fort Hook was sent to the front to cover the camera after that failed. He ripped it off the bracket. Then they brought the car to the front to load her. I agree, AZ Man, with just about everything you said there. One thing that I would say is, I don't know if I think it could be two people, but like I was saying earlier, the thing that stumps me on that, right, is we allegedly have this guy on the 11th without the backpack and stuff, and I've shown where he moved the camera on the 11th. He moved the camera on the 11th because you can see, or somebody moved the camera from the 11th to the 1st slightly, just ever so slightly, because it's at a different angle. We see the same man on the 11th and the 1st, dressed very similar, same build, everything. If there was more involved, right, why didn't we see another man on the 11th? You know what I mean? Why do we only see this one man both times? You know what I mean? So, one or two, maybe. He could have been, this guy could be the main man, if you will, and he could have just had help that night as well. So, hey, Pickle Me Elmo, we are in the Twilight Zone. Yes, we are. We certainly are. It does seem like a cover of Beverly. It, in my opinion, all the time he spent in the house, he was searching for certain things, and he probably took them out. Law enforcement and the family are keeping it secret. I don't think so, in my opinion. I really don't think so. And the reason is, if someone takes something, right, most people don't break in a house to keep the jewelry, right? Most people don't break in the house to keep the jewelry. Most people break in a house because they want the valuable so they can sell it, right? And that valuable goes to someone else. And usually, they might keep it or sell it or whatever. But, they'll say, this is a necklace. I'm sure Nancy was very responsible, and probably, if she had any valuables, probably taking pictures, had it logged or whatever. So I don't know about that. The perp at the door, and maybe a driver, in my opinion. Maybe. But I do believe, just like AZ Man said, I absolutely believe they were taking her out. However, with that front door because it was either she was walking and that was the easiest place for her to get out barefooted and to get to the car that time of night, or for them to carry her out, and they ripped that camera off. There's something feminine about the perp, in my opinion. A lot of people says that. I think he's a pretty boy, if you will. I think he's very particular about his looks. I think he's a very a clean cut, like I said, probably works on his eyebrows a little bit, looks in the mirror a lot, smells like a lot of cologne, has 2 diamond earrings, kind of, I feel, I would have thought Savannah would have bought her expensive jewelry. You know, some people are into jewelry, very expensive jewelry, and some people it means nothing. Um, that is very true, Annette. Yes, very, very true. Okay, let me show you this, and then we're going to talk about someone who said that they know where Nancy Guthrie is. Is it more bullshit? And if it is more bullshit, why do people say these kind of things? Yes, well groomed. Yeah, Wendy. Yeah. This is after her husband passed away. Nancy Guthrie went to work for the University of Arizona from 1990 until January 1, 2007, according to Tucson.com profile on her. While there, she initially worked as a spokesperson for the University Medical Center before becoming an associate to the vice president of university advancement. In her role at the school, she organized the Center Stage program, which brought in musicians to perform for the hospital staff, patients, and visitors monthly. She also ran what the school called MedCamp, a program designed to introduce Arizona high school students to the medical field. Now, 2007 was a long time ago. That was a long time ago, right? We're talking 20 years. Do you think there was any audio to the camera? Yeah, I do, but I don't know if they could have got the audio. I don't think they were BS. There's too many attention-seeking people out there. Some people, you know, and you're absolutely right, Simply Real. You sometimes people need attention. They want their name in history books, so to speak, that they will unalive someone and go to prison for the rest of their life. But that's generally like a psychopath, like someone really. The year I graduated high school thinks I'm going to throw up. Kelsey. Yeah, it's not the right Nancy. It's not the right Nancy Guthrie. Yeah. She did not work very long, 1990 to 2000. I mean, that's, 17 years. It's almost 2 decades. I keep thinking motive is money. Okay. So a lot of people are, again, I want to make sure that I preface this. The person we are showing is on social media. It's on a social media platform. We are not saying that he is involved in any way, shape, and or form. Let's make that very clear. Trishy, 21 months, rock star status, legendary. And Casey discussion. Love you, darling. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your continued support, Miss Trishy. Really, really do appreciate you. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen. Doing all the good stuff. Really appreciate you guys being here. I think they just wanted Nancy, in my opinion, the ransom notes, if real. There the afternoon. One second. The ransom, if real, were an afterthought, in my opinion. Absolutely, Tony. I think that ransom letter was completely an afterthought. I've said it. I think it was a delay from jump to maybe throw them off. Again, someone wrote, what does everyone think of this guy? He actually has similar shoes to the perp and kind of fits his build, as does every other person so far, and tattoos. First of all, I want to say that I don't think the person's going to keep their shoes. I think this person here in the suspect person in the black and white, I feel like all of that clothes was bought for this specific occasion, if you will. I don't think it has to do with anything with Savannah. I think it's revenge for something along the lines of debt or gambling. Country Girl says, I'm starting to wonder if the back door was open to let cold air in. I don't think so. I don't think so, Country Girl, because there's so many animals that could get in. And I just don't see her opening her back door and leaving it open all night long while she's in there. You know what I mean? A lot of criminals keep souvenirs from their crimes, like serial unalivers do. They need trophies. Yeah. And here this guy says, I know where she's at. Martis, sorry. I think she was suggesting the perps prop the door open to cool off the house. Oh, sorry, my bad. If I misunderstood that, I apologize. Yeah, I think these people want attention. Using his real name. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Now, I will say that this guy in the black and white, I could see dressing very similar to this guy. This is kind of what I'm talking about, right? He cleans up, he cares about his looks, he takes a lot of bathroom photos of himself, all of that. But see, he looks a lot. See how people look so much different at different times? But I don't think here I don't think it's the same guy at all. At all, in my opinion. I feel like this guy in the black and white, I feel like he's more light-skinned, in my opinion. I feel like well, he has a goatee for sure. Or potential by her since she did have her house very briefly. I don't. He'd been contacting the FBI to get their reward money. Not a, yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think Nancy could physically move flower pots to prop the doors open. I don't. Not only do I think she could, I don't think she would. Right. I'm not convinced he's dark complected. I think this guy is more lighter complected. In my opinion. What do you guys think? You think he's more lighter or darker complected? I think lighter, in my opinion. I want to know why having 3 grown children, someone wasn't making sure her Nest cameras weren't paid every month, and cameras inside also, except her bathroom and bedrooms. Maybe medium, but not dark. Lighter, not sure. I have no opinion. Lighter, darker, agree, lighter. No scar on his lip. And that's the thing, that's what I really want to see. That's why I really want to see more photos or more video of this guy. I want to see, because I do believe this is a scar of some sort. I really do. However, the black and white, the night vision, it can really distort things very, very terribly. And I want to see more of this guy. Is this here the second DNA item? They took multiple things, and one of them is a hair. And he had a bite light in his mouth. Yes, but here, you know something? Hold on. I need to go back to something because I forget. Wait a second. Let's go to this. Okay. I got a question. Look at this video. Okay, there he goes. He's got the bite light in his mouth the whole time. That was my question. So watch him here. You can't tell here, but he's got the bite light in his mouth. Now watch when he gets to the flowers, you'll see the flash. Yep. Watch. He's getting ready to see it. See the flash right there? Not that far back. Watch that. See the flash? Why does it blur like that? You can see it right there. You know what? You know what's interesting? Oh, I just thought it. No, oh. Let me think here. When do we see his face? So, when we see his face, maybe it's the other one. When we see that, A little clip of his face right there. Right there. Okay. You guys remember, I was thinking he's got this he's got the thing over his face though. But you know how, like, if you've ever played with a flashlight as a kid or an adult, um like if you put your the flashlight up to your thumb, you can like see not through it, but it glows like your thumb, or you could do it to your mouth and your mouth will glow as well. I was thinking a mouth flashlight would do the same, but he's got the cover on him as well. If he didn't have that cover on him, he'd be glowing up like a lighter bright. God, I'm old. Remember those games, lighter bright? What? Why have a pew pew there? It is it a thing? Is it to hide if he's male or female? No. Mm-mm. He had a. That's what gets the power over the situation, right? Because everyone fears a GUN. If he didn't have a GUN, there would be a less of a threat. They almost look like boxing gloves. They are so thick for surgical gloves. He's got big hands. This guy does. He's got very thick fingers, right? Hey Sarah, Mamacita, how you doing? I think they said it was a Glock. Oh, Jim, absolutely. Yes. If you don't, people think criminals usually just have on one pair of gloves. Sometimes they can still leave fingerprints, even in one pair of gloves. You always double glove. Always. If you're doing crime. If they're smart criminals, they're going to double glove every time. Every single time. And maybe that was sure. And protect his hands. I think all of this, people put these things on their face and their hands for multiple reasons. One, not to be ID'd, right? And two, not to be ID'd. Right? If your fingerprints are somewhere, you can be ID'd. If your DNA is somewhere, you can be ID'd, potentially, especially if you're another criminal. But now you can be ID'd through genealogy, essentially. A lot of people think that he's not 100% mentally. I don't know if you could be 100% mentally and unalive someone without justification, like with, war or something, or they're coming in your home to hurt you or unalive you. But I don't think this guy is, in my opinion, I don't think he's that much of a loon bug, in my opinion. I think he's just evil, right? I think he's just evil. What was the temperature that night? It was kind of cold that night, though, wasn't it? Another person thought there is another head cover under the mask. The eyelids are hooded. Yes. Yeah, he's got hooded eyes. But his hands are very, I don't know. I think he's desperate to cover this camera, and he just didn't think about that part. But I wish they would give some more. I wish they would give some more out here. Okay, we're going to go. Let me close these real quick. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Double tap that screen. Appreciate you all being here. I want to go. When was this? I want to talk about this on Fox News here with Jesse.
Stuart, when you hear her say the door was open when they first found out the mom was missing, why are we hearing about this now?
You know, Jesse, I watched this interview several times, in fact, multiple times today with some of my colleagues, and we really tore it apart.
Just listen to this.
For the life of us, there are a lot of questions, a lot more questions than answers, and I don't have an answer for why we are just hearing about the back door. But let me just quickly go through several points. Number one is Savannah Guthrie tells us that when her sister calls her, first calls her, Savannah goes, "You better call the police." Well, the sister says, "No, the police are here already." You know, Jesse, using common sense, if a loved one goes missing, the first thing you're going to do is call or text the people that are closest to that person to find out if you've heard from that person.
Do you agree with him there? Do you agree with him? Are you going to call your family or your loved ones before you're going to go check? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. AIWB is what it's called when you carry a pew-pew like that, Justin. Yes. It's okay, 1-1. Yes. 2. You think differently, Charlotte? Absolutely. No. 1-1-1. I'll call the police and my siblings. But I mean, everyone is different. Yeah, Mexican carry. That's what I've heard it called as. But the thing is, like, I am going to, like, if the church lady can't get a hold of my mother and she's supposed to be there, I'm going to call my siblings to see if they've heard from mom. Hey, have you heard from mom? Yeah. Most people are, but I am talking even before they got there, even before they got to the house, right? Like, you haven't got a hold of your mom. Hey, sis. Hey, bro. Have you heard from mom? Or on the way over, even while they're driving over, are you going to call your siblings? Might call a neighbor.
That in and of itself seems a little odd to me as to why the sister or brother or anybody did not reach out to Savannah Guthrie prior to calling the police or while they were waiting for the police. There's about a 12-minute gap between the time 911 is called to the time the police arrive. That's number one. Number two is, this would be the last scenario of an 84-year-old lady who has physical limitations that anybody would contemplate kidnapping for a ransom. There was nothing that would have been consistent at the very onset to lead anybody to believe that Nancy Guthrie was the target of a kidnapping for ransom. That statement in and of itself causes me to now have a lot of questions as to how someone would have even gotten to that point from just being on the phone prior to showing up.
And he's right. He's right. How do you get from she's not here to ransom immediately before before even a ransom letter comes out. How do you get there? And that's what I have a problem with, other than the fact that they were at their house multiple times and taking stuff out of their house and lighting it up inside, and kept going back and going to their neighbors and all of that stuff in their story. So, that's a little weird to me. That's a lot weird to me. How do we go from, yeah, someone might have took her, but I'm talking about the ransom part. How do we get to the ransom part when we don't even, like, someone might have taken her, but that doesn't mean there's a ransom, right? You get what I mean? Like, how did the family get to the ransom part before there was a ransom letter? You get me? Let me just back that little part
In a
up.
gap between the time 911 is called to the way anybody did not reach out to Savannah Guthrie prior to calling the police or while they were waiting for the police. There's about a 12-minute gap between the time 911 is called to the time the police arrive. That's number one. Number two is, this would be the last scenario of an 84-year-old lady who has physical limitations that anybody would contemplate kidnapping for a ransom. There was nothing that would have been consistent at the very onset to lead anybody to believe that Nancy Guthrie was the target of a kidnapping for ransom.
Kidnapping for ransom. Who kidnaps an 84-year-old for ransom? You know? Like, but didn't the brother yes. Savannah said he called him, and she's like, "Do you think it's because of me?" And he said, "I'm sorry, babe, but yeah." Now, I think Cameron was, told, I think he was given this information. It was perhaps maybe Annie or one of them could have said something to him, and then he conveyed it potentially, allegedly, to Savannah.
That statement in and of itself causes me to now have a lot of questions as to how someone would have even gotten to that point from just being on the phone prior to showing up. Number three is, Savannah Guthrie offered later on in her interview with some very specific facts that her mother left the house in her pajamas without her shoes. How did Savannah Guthrie know that at the time her mother left the house, she was clothed in her pajamas without her shoes on? That leads me to believe that law enforcement perhaps has other video that, quite frankly, they have not disclosed. Unless Nancy Guthrie only had one pair of shoes in that house, how would anybody be able to know that she left the house without her shoes on? That's a very specific material fact.
Now, good question. Good question. I'm sure Nancy had more than one pair of shoes, right? Maybe she's seen video. But this is the thing, Ginger. But this is the thing. She's a journalist, and especially like our own mother, keeping the facts pretty straight is, you would probably want to do, right? Words matter.
And it caused us to pause and wonder. There's a lot of things that we just don't know.
You bring up three really interesting observations. I don't, I'm not an investigator, but you know how these things go, and I can't explain the things that you're raising either. The notes, the 2 notes, she says, she still believes those weren't hoaxes. Well, what does that tell you?
She not only said that 2 of the ransom notes with specificity she believes are real, she actually also suggested that it was one kidnapper. She never refers to individuals, meaning plural. If you go back and listen to her interview, she talks
Hold
about
on.
one
What? Hold on.
she believes are real. She actually also suggested that it was one kidnapper. She never refers to individuals, meaning plural.
One kidnapper. Now, like I said, the more I've looked at this, the more I think it is one kidnapper because of the 11th. Because we see the same guy on the 11th and the 1st. I do think it is probably one. Now, again, she might have more information.
If you go back and listen to
I think there's more than one person involved, though. I'll say that.
to her interview, she talks about one person. And so that leads me to believe that in those ransom notes, and again, there may have been some clues within those notes. By way of example, we took your mom in her pajamas. You will notice that those pajamas are not there. We took her without her shoes. Her shoes or her slippers are still by her bedside. And so there is some specific facts that are known to law enforcement that, quite frankly, they're keeping very close to the vest. I will just say this to you, that this interview, I don't think helped the investigation. In fact, if anything, I think it may have hurt. I think it also may have hurt their credibility because there are just things that just, quite frankly, don't add up. And statistically, these cases generally lead back to someone who's within that inner circle.
Wow, that's a strong statement, Stuart. We'll see how it plays out. Why would, putting the credibility issue aside, why would this interview hurt the investigation?
I'm not saying that it hurts the investigation, but I do believe that less is more, because the more information you let out to the general public, and obviously there is an individual, at least one individual, because we saw them on that Ring doorbell, it gives that person an individual to backtrack and perhaps cover his or her tracks. And so what my suggestion would be is that less is more, allow the investigation to run its course. I don't see any benefit to Savannah Guthrie going on national TV and kind of, opening herself up. Look, it is very upsetting. Clearly, this is a devastating situation for this family. But I'm not so sure that the investigators are in any way supportive of Savannah Guthrie going on a talk show to kind of lay out certain material relevant facts. By way of example, pajamas without her shoes. And by the way, Jesse, if you go back, I believe that Savannah Guthrie said that she heard my mother said was begging for mercy. Now, I don't know if that's her interpretation, or is there a recording that was her mom pleading for mercy when she was leaving the house?
Again, Ring doorbells, or all the doorbells, they usually have audio, right? Has Savannah seen more? Has she seen more? This goes back to the internet moves fast. The truth doesn't. A lot of speculation and folks making decisions based on what information was put out. Yep. I would love to hear the 911 call as well. Was it Annie that called? Was it Tommaso? How long was the call? What did they say? Were they freaking out? Like, what did it sound like? No, the brother, no. I don't think Cameron's involved in it whatsoever, in my opinion.
With whoever.
I think that's a very good interview, in my opinion. I think that is a very, very good interview. Do we know for sure she slept and was in a nightgown? Um, well, I don't. I mean, what? How did Savannah say she? She said she was in her. Did she say pajamas? Did she say pajamas? See what I mean, Justin? He's putting words in Savannah's mouth. These aren't facts. That's what we need. Well, no, Annette, I kind of disagree because those are words that Savannah said. Those are words Savannah said. Um, in my, I mean, if you go back, have you seen the Savannah interview where she says uh, all the things there? Like this.
Number one. Number two is this would be the last scenario of an 84-year-old lady who has physical limitations that anybody would contemplate kidnapping for a ransom. It's many people that are closest to that person to find out if you've heard from that person. That in and of itself seems a little odd to me as to the police scenario of an 84-year limitations that anybody would contemplate kidnapping for a ransom. There was nothing that would have been consistent at the very onset to lead anybody to believe that Nancy Guthrie was the target of a kidnapping for ransom.
And the thing is, like Savannah said, that her brother called and said that, sweetie, do you think that, this is, or she said, do you think this is because of me? And he says, well, yeah. At that point, there had not been a ransom letter, right? Yeah, he's FBI or former FBI.
That statement in and of itself causes me to now have a lot of questions as to how someone would have even gotten to that point from just being on the phone.
And the thing it is for me, it's not that, okay, you can assume she's kidnapped. That's fine in the beginning. Of course, I get it. Totally understand someone saying she's being kidnapped. But the ransom part, the ransom part, to me is, and then there's like a ransom that comes out 2 days later.
Prior to showing up. Number three is Savannah Guthrie offered later on in her interview with some very specific facts that her mother
right here
left the house in her pajamas without her shoes. How did Savannah Guthrie know that at the time her mother left the house, she was clothed in her pajamas?
Now, that's a question he's asking, right? That's a question he's asking. How did she know? Did she, and again, I don't think Savannah had a damn thing to do with any of this. I feel horrible for Savannah. But how did she know? The question is, how did she know that this? And he asked, has she been told this? Is she assuming this?
Without her shoes on. That leads me to believe that law enforcement perhaps has other video that, quite frankly, they have not disclosed.
And again, they're only showing us, a couple different clips and a couple stills. They were about 3-4 weeks ago working on supposedly getting more, but did they have more in the beginning? And let's just be real. Savannah knows some people in some high places, and there comes some privilege sometimes. Did they show her more? Or is she just assuming?
Unless Nancy Guthrie only had one pair of shoes in that house, how would anybody be able to know that she left the house without her shoes on? That's a very specific material fact, and it caused us to pause and wonder. There's a lot of things that we just don't know.
You know, you bring up three really interesting observations. I don't, you know, I'm not an investigator, but you know how these things go, and I can't explain the things that you're raising either. The notes, the two notes, she says, she still believes those weren't hoaxes. Well, what does that tell you?
She not only said that two of the ransom notes with specificity she believes are real, she actually also suggested that it was one kidnapper. She never refers to individuals, meaning plural. If you go back and listen to her interview, she talks about one person. And so that leads me to believe that in those ransom notes, and again, there may have been some clues within those notes by way of example.
So you got to remember, we don't know what is in those ransom letters, right? Because TMZ and the other two did not put out those ransom letters publicly, right? Now, the family did allegedly see the ransom letters, and there was only I think TMZ said some of the things, but there was some things in that ransom letter that they felt like only someone very close could know that. Right? So we don't know what's in those ransom letters. Now, maybe there is something he is saying in those ransom letters that Savannah is privy to, and maybe she's kind of telling us a little bit more. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's speculating. Maybe she saw something on video. Don't know. Savannah, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. FBI told Savannah what to tell on TV, the tricks to get the guy to react. I am sure she is smart enough to listen to the FBI. I do believe that the FBI probably told her to say certain things. I do agree with that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Tina, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate you very much. Very kind of you. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen. Appreciate you all being here. Savannah left abruptly mid-show. Yes, yes. I feel like the kids have accepted the age that she's not alive. Yeah, I think that they've came to that conclusion too, unfortunately.
We took your mom in her pajamas. You will notice that those pajamas are not there. We took her without her shoes. Her shoes or her slippers are still by her bed.
You know, maybe in this ransom letter, they said something to the effect of how they took her out, that only the perp would know. And again, Savannah, the way she speaks, she only speaks about one perp. And again, the longer I look at this, the more I think of one perp because of, again, the 11th and the 1st.
Side. And so there is some specific facts that are known to law enforcement that, quite frankly, they're keeping very close to the vest. I will just say this to you, that this interview, I don't think helped the investigation.
I mean, we know that, I mean, let's be real. Those two letters that hey, YouTuber, hey, Shannon. We know that those two letters they didn't release everything. So what is in those letters, right? What are in those letters, and why? Why didn't they release them? Is it because they're meaningless? Or is it because there's more in there? And Harvey from TMZ, he thought that something was up with them, those two specific letters.
In fact, if anything, I think it may have hurt.
I've always, one thing I do agree with Savannah on here is I do believe one or two of those letters come from someone who knows. I think the other ones are BS, but I do believe one or two of them very likely was sent. I don't think it was because of ransom. I think in one of the ransom letters, it's they're making it sound like she's alive allegedly, and then the other one, it sounds they're like, if I can remember correctly, it's like, never mind, the time is already passed, like as insinuating she's already dead. And if you remember what I should pull it up, the video of Savannah and her family talking, and she says, "We understand you," or "We hear you." Let me pull it up.
I think it also may have hurt their credibility because there are just things that just quite frankly don't add up. And statistically, these cases generally lead back to someone who's within that inner circle.
Wow, that's a strong statement, Stuart. We'll see how it plays out. Why would, putting the credibility issue aside, why would this interview hurt the investigation?
I'm not saying that it hurts the investigation, but I do believe that less is more, because the more information you let out to the general public, and obviously there is an individual, at least one individual, because we saw them on that Ring doorbell, it gives that person an individual to backtrack and perhaps cover his or her tracks. And so what my suggestion would be is that less is more, allow the investigation to run its course. I don't see any benefit to Savannah Guthrie going on national TV and kind of, opening herself up. Look, it is very upsetting. Clearly, this is a devastating situation for this family. But I'm not so sure that the investigators are in any way supportive of Savannah Guthrie going on a talk show to kind of lay out certain material relevant facts. By way of example, pajamas without her shoes. And by the way, Jesse, if you go back, I believe that Savannah Guthrie said that she heard my mother said was begging for mercy. Now, I don't know if that's her interpretation, or is there a recording that was her mom pleading for mercy when she was leaving the house with whoever?
Yeah, she did say that. But okay, listen to what she says here.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too.
That was it. Thank you. Thank you, Country Girl. Yeah, in that letter, it said, time is no longer of the essence. That's what it was. And you got to remember, this person in this letter, they said they sounded very educated, which is interesting, right? If this was some just random break-in or whatever, you're probably not going to have someone sounding.
Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses.
But this is the thing. If ChatGPT wrote it, couldn't they find that exact who wrote that ChatGPT based on those words? You know what I mean? If ChatGPT wrote that, you would think they could go back to ChatGPT and find those specific words where ChatGPT wrote and get that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's an interesting question. Very interesting.
She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She's 84 years old.
Is this the one where she says,
You have everything that we can.
is this the one where it says,
However,
"I hear you"?
We live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated.
Okay, here it is. Hold on.
However,
Hold on. Where does she
survive, and she needs it not to suffer.
It's right here.
We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
We want to hear you and we want to listen. And okay, and then it's the next one. She says, "We hear you." I think it is.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is.
So that is the main message. I want to bring in News Nation.
Okay. Which one is it where she says, we hear you"? She says that in one. Okay. Is it this one? Okay, hold on. I think it might be this one. One second.
Everybody, I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers.
Is it this one?
And the love that we have felt.
We
my
understand
sister
we will
and brother
pray.
and I, and that our mom has felt,
Which one was it?
because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers, and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there.
Was it the one I was playing, Ginger?
We need your help.
I'm trying to think of which one it is.
Law
I can't
enforcement is
remember another one.
working tirelessly around the clock, trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement.
I got it, I think.
We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
I want to bring in CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez, who's live for us.
I got it. Here we go. It's this one with him sitting on the side. Okay. This is it.
For safe return.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you.
We received your message and we understand. We received your message and we understand. Remember, they didn't give us everything in that letter that they said. They were first asking, kind of allegedly saying that Nancy was alive. And then the next day, they came out with, they sent another letter. What's only, Ginger? What do you mean only? And that's when they said time is no longer of the essence.
Overnight with a plea for her safe return.
We received your message and we understand.
I don't know. I can't, guys. I'm gonna. If I would be fake, I can't be fake with you guys. I feel, and I could go to hell for this. I don't know, but I feel like Annie is being a little dramatizing it a little bit here. Forgive me, Lord, if I'm wrong.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Oh, it is just such a heartbreaking video, and we have new details.
Hold on. What did she say right there?
Stand.
Hold on.
Damn. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
And we will pay. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. Oh, we love your mama. Rest her soul, Maurice. We love Mama Maurice. So I think Annie is feeling guilty because she was the caregiver and failed. Could be. Phil, but you just get those, I don't know. It could be just all the things around it. I don't know. I really. I think, yeah, someone just texted me. I think that they, when she said, we hear you and we understand, they made a very good point. We hear you and we understand. Please how did they say it? Please give back our mom. To me, it sounds like they're asking for her remains. Listen to that.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us
we can celebrate with her.
so we can celebrate with her. So you don't, a lot of people call celebration of life, right, kind of thing. Did we get 1,000 likes? You guys are rock stars. We got 1,600 people watching. Guys, hit that thumbs up, double tap that screen. You guys are amazing. Second party. Okay. I think it's like a celebration of life. You know what I'm thinking?
This is the only way we will have peace.
That's the only way they're going to have peace, is if they get her back, right? One way or another.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Very valuable to us, and we will pay. I thought the first 2 emails were real. They should have paid something. In my opinion, could have at least gotten a lead, possibly. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it would have made a difference. Because, I think I do think the first maybe 1 or 2 were legit. But again, they didn't show proof of life. And you can't just give someone $1 million or whatever, ever how much money they want, if you can't 100% sure know, like, it's the real deal. Right. And that's why it's so important to, excuse me, that's why it's so important to show that, they're legit, is proof of life or even death. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Yeah, I agree, Minnie. They were told she's dead, but they want her to pay still. That this is very valuable to us. Not she is. Yeah. Not she is very valuable. This is very valuable to us. The act of having her body. Yes. And that's true. That's true. I mean, think about that. They said, very good point. Right. Like, if she was alive, you would say she's very valuable to us. Right? She's very valuable to us. But they said, this is very valuable to us. This is very valuable to us. The act of having her body, her remains, we will pay. Speaking to the public about poetry and speaking to the public and family and Christ are 2 different things. Yeah. I mean, I think her poetry's really bad, in my opinion, but that's so cute. Carol's. That's so cute, Carol. You sent me. Found the beginning. I have been feeling all along that this happened to the hands of someone close. Yeah, I agree. Tina, did I thank you, my dear? Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very much, Miss Tina. Good to see you. Thank you so much, my love. And thank you so much, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you. Good to see you, my dear. Much love to you, my friend. Usually it is someone they know. Stranger abduction is very, very rare. It's you like my poetry I quoted the other night. Well, I mean, to me, it's just like they slap 3 words together and they make it poetry. I mean, I know poetry is very personal and all that, but there's just no, I mean, I guess the whole idea of poetry is making context out of the way you see it. But I always say baked beans, douche, and a lawn chair. That's just 3 random words. Tina and Kelly, thank you so much for sending gifts. Thank you for sending jewels, my darlings. Appreciate you. Mods, if you, did I miss anybody's jewels or anything, if you would let me know. Thank you both, Tina and Kelly. Appreciate you very, very much, my darlings. Okay. Let me go to this. Let me clear some of these things out. Oh my God. So you know that guy we were talking about earlier? I don't think he has anything to do with it. But they've got like pictures of his tattoos there, and someone wrote, "Nah, he shops at Target, not Walmart. Look at the Target bags." Oh gosh. Lord have mercy. Good eye. Good eye. Can't fault you for that. Okay. Roll this up. Sorry, I'm letting commercial go by. Her poems longer than her asking for her poem back. The family, nor media, has said thank you to all the YouTubers that have been boots on the ground and said they get slammed. We get slammed every time. Every time. Every time. And the reason is media hates us. Big media hates us because we get more views than they do normally. That's just the truth of it. Hold on. What is this? Oh, okay. Is there anything new with that? I'm looking at something. No. Okay. Love you too, Sue. I taught high school English in the past, and if someone turned that poetry in, I would send it to the guidance counselor for therapy. Yeah, it's when was this? Okay, so I'm trying to find out when that ransom letter was. The first one. It was what, 48 hours? I'm pulling up the timeline. I do believe the ransom letters. I really do. The first 2. Okay. Here's the timeline. February. It came out. What day was it? February 4th? You know what? Let me show you this. On this timeline, February 5th, 2026, 11:15 a.m., Chris Nano, Sheriff of Pima County, is scheduled to conduct a briefing regarding the investigation. blood located on the porch or front stoop area near the front door. Did they not find the blood for 3 days? For fucking 3 days. It's like, do these people walk around with blinders on? Don't tell me that. I know. Look at that. That's just crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Let me see if they say blood anywhere in the transcript. Okay, here it is. 906. Right here.
Now, I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed. We know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. Now, I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed. We know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. The car. The car that was at the home it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there. And
One second.
The blood on the porch.
Let me go back. He says blood here. Hold on.
And we're at that phase now where sometimes we're waiting, right? We're waiting for analysis. We're waiting for lab reports. But even then, when they come back quickly, for example, some DNA, we rushed what we thought was the best target for DNA. We did a rush through and got some of that back. The results were minimal. I think you all know the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy. That's what we know.
That's the 5th. So they had to find it probably the 4th then.
But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our haunches waiting.
Yeah, you are.
We do have a number of leads coming in, and that's why we brought in the FBI for one, but PCRIT as well, to be able to get out there and handle these leads as they come in as quickly and as expeditiously as we can. And every single lead is looked at, every one of them. And so we're gearing up. You probably have some questions about what you've seen in the last couple of days. I'll gladly answer those at that time. But it really is about getting our partners out there. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night, it was just us. Since then, the FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well?
Hold on.
Since then, the FBI, Saturday night, it was just us. Since then,
Saturday night? One second. That was Monday morning? Or Sunday morning? Sunday afternoon?
The FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well? And that's what you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, but this entire community, all of our law enforcement partners. Suspects. I know there's been a lot out there about suspects, and I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet. The timeline, I think we've got it on the board, do we not? This is a timeline that we have been able to do.
It took them freaking 5 days to get a timeline out.
Develop with some of the things that we've had processed, various pieces of electronics that we've gathered. And you look at some of this, and I know you're going to say, well, why did it take you so long to get this to us, Sheriff? Well, because one thing, it's got to go out and be processed at different lab sites. And sometimes that stuff comes back to us. And like you, we have questions. And we say, wait a minute, what is this about? What about this? Could it be that? And so it's sent back or it's sent somewhere else. So, and that's happening with all of the things we see, that process, that review, and that questioning of, all right, what is it we're looking at? So I'll go over it with you. You can see it on the board there, but at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, and just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the
to be a fly on the wall at the dinner and on the way back.
Family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes, which is that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m.,
You're finding kisses, thank you, baby.
doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but that's what it says. So it detects a person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video. But we're not giving up on that. 2:28.
Family. Tommaso.
Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone.
Hold on.
Her app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy.
I wonder, guys, when that is disconnecting from the phone, were they taking her out of the door? Or was he or they taking her out of the door? Like after he's trying to cover up that camera and he takes down that camera, is that when it's disconnecting? There is an officer specifically assigned to do this. He should take advantage. Yeah.
See? Discovers her missing. And at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I believe it's about approximately 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, our patrol teams arrive. They see the scene, and we start our response with our search and rescue teams and our detectives from homicide and various units. In fact, every unit here, I think somebody questioned, how come there's an ICAC member out here or this member? Everybody in our criminal investigations team is a part of this team and part of this investigative effort.
The eye tech is not normal.
I think with that, let me make sure. Now, I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed. We know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were.
Yes, he does, Nancy, Micah. He does. Let me see on that timeline. 1:47, doorbell camera disconnects. 2:12 a.m. camera software. So that's interesting. 1:47 a.m. doorbell camera disconnects. And then it says 2:12 a.m. camera software detects a person. Is that two different cameras? Is that it is still recording then? But it says it let me think about this. 1:47 doorbell camera disconnects. Does it reconnect? 2:12 1:50. Okay, so 10, 23, 25 minutes later. 25. So 25 minutes later is they detect a person. But why he says, but then he says there are no timestamps. What the hell? That's a good point. That's a very good point, Ginger. Oh my God. That's a very good point. If there's no timestamps, then why did you give us a fucking timestamps? He just gave timestamps. I never thought of that. Two of them. Exactly. Well, he says, he doesn't say, I don't think he says no cameras were, does he say no cameras were removed? Camera on the side of the house is different area or room. Well, there's cameras in the back. There's the doorbell camera, and there's allegedly cameras inside too. That's very interesting. We don't have timestamps, they say, but they give us two fucking timestamps. It just shows you that they'll say things that we know they know, but they're obviously not telling us, right? Which is common, but I don't think they caught that themselves. Remember, they said there's no timestamps on these cameras, but they have some timestamps because they just gave us two timestamps. One being 1:47 a.m. doorbell camera disconnects. Next timestamp 2:12 a.m. 25 minutes later, camera software detects a person. No video available due to no subscription. But they gave us a freaking timestamp. "9 a.m., Nancy Guthrie failed to appear at an expected Sunday morning gathering. Early law enforcement reporting described this as a church service. Nancy Guthrie failed to appear at church. Later sources reporting on February 9, 2026, stated Nancy was instead expected to attend a weekly Sunday gathering at a friend's home to watch the New York-based church service via live stream that was not scheduled to attend in-person church services. 11 a.m. Concern about Nancy's absence was raised and family members were alerted. Later sources reporting stated a friend contacted Annie Guthrie after Nancy did not arrive and could not be reached. 11:56 a.m. family checks on Nancy. 12:03 p.m., 8 minutes later, family members call 911 to report her missing. 12:15, 12 minutes later, Pima County Sheriff detectives respond. Nancy Guthrie was expected at friends. Let me find this real quick. It was this. I'll have to let it playing. There is scrubbed LE info, but a couple of people have LE logged before scrubbed. The family waited an hour to go check on her. No. Oh, yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Why can't we hear phone calls? Don't know.
Bashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. The car, the car that was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there and do our scene processing with the vehicle. Uber, we did speak to a driver because Nancy, we learned, had been taken the Uber to the family residence, the daughter, for dinner. And we located that driver and spoke with them and got that information. The house, you guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it and examine things themselves, and more importantly, it's just
what?
The house, you guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it.
No, you mother chicken. You cleared the fucking house. That's what it is. You cleared the house. Our partners. That equals FBI. Yeah.
And examine things themselves, and more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things and go.
Hold on. Am I understanding this wrong?
Located the house. You guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up.
You got 4 stars there, Nanos. 4 stars. You're a 4-star asshole. Is what
I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it.
Yeah, I showed that the other day,
examine
Maurice.
things themselves, and more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things and go, hey, what about this? So we want to go back and check on some things. Oh, here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from. We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all. Whether it's forced entry or not forced entry, that is something we're just not discussing. So I don't know where anybody got that information. I think I am about done with my piece of this. I'm going to bring up here Heath Yankee, and I think you know
Yeah, he wanted to go back and check some things like, blood.
him if you haven't been here. John Edwards is the assistant agent in charge with the FBI here at the Tucson office. Heath Yankee is the special agent in charge for the state of Arizona out of Phoenix, and he will come up and speak.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hello, I'm Heath Yankee, the special agent.
When you hear what the FBI says, it takes a while for the shop to put back a car together and to tear it apart. It was sent the shop to fix before they got it back. Listen, it doesn't take 30 days, 30-some days, 40 days to 40-plus days to fix it. Nope. It certainly didn't take it for the rest of the dailies or Carlos's car.
In charge of the FBI's Phoenix division. First, I want to let the Guthrie family know that our hearts are heavy for them. After seeing your message last night, it is clear that you and your family are in pain. Please know that we are doing everything to bring your mother home. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest.
The recovery of Nancy Guthrie. Did you notice that? Recovery. Dead. That shows she's dead. Yeah. So they have to know more. They have to know more.
And conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance, and this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. The FBI has agents, analysts, and professional staff employees working day and night with our partners at the Sheriff's Department. We have deployed additional intelligence and agents from our Phoenix office. We have brought in our critical incident response group from Quantico, Virginia. Members from our cellular analysis survey team are here, and they continue to collect and process digital information. We are actively reviewing and analyzing information
That's
from
the excuse,
all
but
digital
it's not.
sources, which includes banks, social media companies, phone companies, and any other organizations where a digital footprint could have been captured. All this information provides data points and helps put the picture together. And we will be in the community continuing to conduct a thorough investigation with our partners. You heard about us out there last night. We will be back out there today. I would ask the media, give our investigators the space to do their jobs while they're out there. Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets. As with every lead, we are taking it seriously. We are in communication with the family. And while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. Thank you.
That's interesting, what he said right there. You hear that again?
Is all from a law enforcement perspective. And while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family.
Is any, we advise, but it is ultimately decided by the family. I think they didn't share all the ransom letters. They didn't. They were, yes, family decides. Well, this is the thing, John. It's not that the FBI is dragging this out. The fact is is whenever Pima County has the lead on this, FBI or any law enforcement cannot, well, I mean, I guess they could, but it's just general practice that they can't override Pima County because they have the lead on this. The only way they could take the lead is if Pima County releases it and says, okay, FBI, I'm giving you the lead. They can't overstep. Yeah.
Thank you to those in the community that have called in tips. For anyone out there that may have information, no matter how small you think it may be, please report it. You can do so by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. My next message is to those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation.
To this.
We will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions.
Now, this has always stuck with me, this part right there, because there has been other imposters and they have not prosecuted that we are aware of these other imposters. Why have they not done that when they did it with Derek and maybe another person? You're fine, Zoo, baby. According to Harvey Levin, they can't find them. I don't know how true it is. Damn, come on.
We have made one arrest related to an imposter ransom demand, and a complaint will be presented to a magistrate judge later today. You will get more on that from the FBI and our U.S. Attorney's Office here in Arizona when it becomes available. To anyone that may be involved, do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma. This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a...
Now, here, this is interesting. He's like, this is an 84-year-old grandma. She needs medication. But you said recovered just a minute ago.
Worse, much worse scenario for you. Please return Nancy home. Thank you.
Do I have a list?
All right, so you want to call them or you want me to call them?
You can call them up.
Okay, so the first person we're going to start with the list is going to be NBC National, Liz Prince.
Right here. Can you walk us through that timeline from when you believe, if you look at this here, from 147 to 228, what you think happened there, and what particular software would have detected somebody on camera?
I don't. I know we know the software that was there. But I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the weeds. I know that. Think of your doorbell cameras. Somebody walks up. My wife's. If I walk up, she gets an alert, and it's usually something like that. A person's detected.
So to understand then, one, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that the suspect or suspects would have been on the property? And then also, does this essentially mean that you've cooperated with the tech companies and you can officially say that no surveillance video is available from now?
We know that the tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
Google got it.
Next person is going to be ABC News, Aaron Katersky.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Was what 45 minutes?
Can we say it's about a 45-minute span that somebody would have been on the property then, from 147 to 228?
Yeah, I think those times speak for themselves, and it is about, like I say, those are approximates. So yes. I'm sorry. Who was next? Did you say?
Aaron Katersky, ABC News.
Hi, Sheriff. Thanks very much. Is there information that you are purposefully withholding because of the active investigation that might be leading you in a particular direction?
You know, this is no different than any criminal investigation that we conduct here.
You didn't
Law
answer the fucking
enforcement
question.
has conducted investigations since 1865 here in Pima County. We're always mindful of what it is that's in front of us and what we should release and can release. There's legal guidelines that guide us, but there's also strategy.
Is there information that you have that's leading you some way that you're not sharing with us? You know, we're doing this like any other case. We've been doing it since, 1874, since 1776, since the birth of, the United States of America.
Too. So, I'll leave that for you to determine.
Now that you are having such an injection of manpower from the Pima critical incident team and the FBI, were you slow to bring that in at the outset? Should all of these resources be brought to bear sooner?
I guess that it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the time, so you have the opportunity to do it for me. I'll take that.
You're a 4-star asshole.
CBS News, Jonathan Vigliotti.
Sheriff over here, has there been any proof of life, and has there been any sign of life?
I'm going to anything to deal with the ransom notes and that I would defer to the FBI, but no, to my knowledge, we're still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I can,
Or score in 7 years ago.
what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on you first haven't been able to validate?
I want to hear this.
Second, it warranted
bite your nails.
informing the Guthries of its existence.
Did you know nanos means dwarf or little person? And now I see why.
So the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
Because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for. So at that point,
what were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
Yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about.
That's right, Pickle Me Elmo. If the shoe fits, buy it in every color.
An Apple Watch, and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to. So the one that went to the media is the one we were currently investigating and working on. The imposter that I talked about, where an arrest was made early this morning, that there would be more information. We believe there's no evidence to connect this to Nancy's case. It was someone that was trying to profit from it, a total imposter.
And Sheriff, you started off the press conference by saying you believe that Nancy is still out there. Do you have reason to believe that she's still out there alive, or are you fearful of the worst case scenario here, that she won't be found alive?
Well, I'm certainly fearful of that. I think we all are. But it is we operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue thinking that way until we find her.
Fox Digital, Mike Reese.
Yeah, sir. Mike Reese from Fox Digital. Sheriff, you said you've identified no suspects. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't. But
Listen to
no,
this.
I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn?
You hear this question?
Fox Digital. Sheriff, you said you've identified no suspects. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
Have you ruled out anyone with that she, meaning Nancy, was with Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't. But
I'm sure my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't.
But no, I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because
No, I wouldn't say anybody is ruled out yet.
What if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
So my follow-up
And that's why law enforcement, especially today, in today's world, they don't really rule out people until someone's arrested.
You mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a forced entry came from. Do we know how that whoever did this got into her house?
That I would not discuss with you anyway.
Fox News, Paul Morrow.
Question for Agent Edwards, if I may. Agent Edwards, will the Bureau be submitting the DNA for an investigative genealogical investigation relative to maybe hitting a relative, somebody, if you will?
I would say the DNA aspect of this case is being handled by the Pima County Sheriff's Department right now. However, should we get to that point, yes, that would be an option for the FBI to assist.
And a quick follow-up, does the ransom note that you're working establish any communication protocols in it?
No, it does not. And that is what I think is important, that if someone has Nancy and is demanding the ransom, that there is communication with the family. We talked about has been no proof of life, and there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
ABC affiliate, Ashley Holden.
Right here, Ashley Holden. When you say the doorbell camera was disconnected, do you believe that that camera was taken?
We do not have it in our possession. We've not located.
And then a follow-up. I know that we've been hearing a lot about ransom notes. We were also hearing in that video that was put out by the Guthrie siblings, and I don't know if this is a question for the FBI or yourself, but the challenges of seeing an image and knowing that it's real. Could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not going to go into facts regarding this part of the investigation. I think part of that message was with AI these days, you can make videos that appear to be very real. So we can't just take a video and trust that that is a proof of life these days because of the advancements in AI and trying to actually get a proof of life that we can verify. But we're not going to go into anything the family may or may not have received.
KOLD, Catherine Patterson.
So in regards to a timeline on that ransom note, is that being an impact in your investigation? Are we nearing that timeline?
I'm sorry, one more time.
So in regards to the timeline in
He's
the
very
ransom
arrogant.
note, are we nearing that timeline? And is that playing a part in the investigation?
We're not going to go again into specifics of that part of the investigation with the ransom note, other than what we've put out there. We've been transparent. We're talking about we are working that ransom demand, but we don't want to go anything further than that could impact any opportunities. So thank you.
Is there any additional physical evidence at the crime scene other than the technology that you guys are using for this timeline? Is there anything else that's helping you guys other than really the technology?
Well, I think I said on day one is that it's technology that's going to really help us solve this case. But no, I mean, we did do a process of that scene for biological evidence. So we're.
And guess what? FBI went back and found more evidence, i.e. the hairs, that they ended up sending to Florida. Florida, I guess, got their results back, but again, they sent it to FBI, the information and the hair and whatever evidence they had. And now Quantico is testing that. So you wouldn't have had those hairs, nanos, had the FBI not been there. And God only knows what they could have gotten if they would have been there on day one, asshat.
Feel hopeful that maybe something will show up there as well.
Arizona Republic, Richard Relas.
Agent Yankee?
Yes.
Exactly,
We
John.
saw on the scene, I believe it was you, taking a tripod into the home of the sister. How involved was the FBI, if at all, in creating the video? Any advice for the family?
I would say we use our expertise and provide consultation and advice anytime a family would ask for our advice in a kidnapping. It's ultimately the family's decision of what they put out. and any messages they put out. But we were, obviously, you're all documenting every move we make. We were there last night in talking with the family. But every decision is theirs.
Right, and that was a tripod and a ring light. And Sheriff Donovan, you said the blood was found on the porch and on the front stoop. Just wanted to verify that.
I say porch, front stoop. It's all in that same general area by the front door.
Front of the house.
Front door, yes.
What, given her medical condition and the fact that it was her blood, as you say, what would her medical condition do with her recovery if she indeed bled out or was bleeding when she left the house?
Well, again, I've got to be careful for HIPAA, but I would say this. We know she is in need of medication, daily medication. And we also know that this is day 4 or 5 and still we don't know that she's getting her medication. That could in itself prove fatal.
And for the
that'll be that question. For KGUN News, we have Craig
Oh,
Smith.
not at
or
all.
Athena.
I'll get that for you. I'll get his name.
Craig?
KGUN, Athena.
They don't trust him at all. Well, I think it's that, but I think he doesn't trust them for sure. And that's why he's got to stick up his ass. I did a whole live about that. Guys, we are going to have a chicken party. You guys are amazing. I've been here 3 hours and 25 minutes. Thank you for over 1,100 likes. Y'all are amazing. Truly, truly do appreciate each and every one of you being here. Alex is their little preemptive moves. Yeah, just in case. Poll results. Poll results. Thank you for that. Let's find the poll results. Thank you, Ginger. I haven't worked the poll in years. I appreciate you reminding me. Speaking of that, I need to order Remy's stripper pole. In the first poll, do you believe someone was actually detained in the Nancy Guthrie case? 37% says unsure. 32% says no, bad reporting. 18% yes, but they were released. And no, Pima County wasn't clear on which Nancy they were talking about. That's poll number 1. Poll number 2. Same poll, just a different chat. Okay. Do you believe someone was actually detained in the Nancy Guthrie case? 46% says unsure. 27% says no, bad reporting. And 16% says yes, but released. 11% says no, Pima County wasn't clear on which Nancy. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I need a Nano's chicken. Yeah. Well, I kind of already have a Nano's chicken because his name is Chris.
Christopher! Katie!
Oh. Suck it now.
Oh.
Suck it now.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
The following is an actual video of me putting on lipstick.
Girl, how I look? Like a damn fool. No, them veneers don't make that look no better. Girl, bye.
RCMP, open up.
Let me see what's going on.
The following is an actual video of me eating a piece of fruit.
Let me see what's going on with this little piece of fruit, baby. Clear my throat. Got a good little ring to it, and I tart it all very sweet. Let me get on up here, baby. I don't need everybody in my mix. See, you don't need to see Big Mama eat her oranges. Go on back the camera up and stop playing with my time before I get active mode face. Day at the drawer. Ooh, I love how you just... Ooh, Lord, babe. It's been a long day at the drawer. Ooh, I love how you just touch and caress me. Rub down there. Ooh, yes. Ooh, scratch around this belly. Get around that belly, boy. Fuck. Oh. Yes, that feels wonderful. It feels magnificent. Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez. Oh, wait, baby. You had did something too rough right there. Slow down. Slow down, cowboy. Slow down, my boy. What's up? Lean with it, rock with it. What? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, don't be touching me there, baby, because I'm going to touch you up there and down there. Oh, Lord. Sometimes you... Oh, wrong song. Yeah, just touch me, baby. I'm too shy. I don't want to play with the Lord like that. Playing with his time. Oh, Lord mercy. Where you going? Come here. What you doing? 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 What you doing, babe? Paddle me. In the words of Janet Jackson, I need some discipline tonight. I've been very bad. Paddle me, boy. What is you doing? Don't be trying to grab it. You playing with my time. See y'all later. Fuck.
Ooh. Get up off me. I said that's enough. Let my gut to the go. You act like you starving, Monquito. Now I said that's enough.
It's starving,
You want to bite
Monquito.
me? Huh? Okay. That's how I feel. Now get up off me. Got these people recording me act like I don't feed your ass. And look at your damn daddy just sitting there. You need to come get your damn daughter. She get this shit from you. Now let my damn titty go. You didn't eat. Let it go. Because at this rate, I'm not gonna care if Monkey Protective Services come get your ass. Now let them go. You didn't eat and you acting like you starving. Okay, we won't listen. We won't listen. Who is that? Oh, I thought I heard something. Now get your... Okay, let me just turn my ass around. Now, didn't I tell you to let my shit go? Now, I'm not about to keep playing with you in front of these people. I'm trying... Okay. Let me see who looking. Okay, hey.
Lord, come by someone's.
The following is an actual video of Sheriff Nanos taking a phone call.
Hello? Hello? I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning my room!
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
And it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
This is my Blanche Devereaux. Oh my God, look at Chris.
Back in, and Gerald Daugherty wants to watch the videotape.
Is that Chris?
November 26th, Mr. Peake will stay in touch with Mr. McKinney. We'll see you back on that day, sir. All right, there you go. Thank you.
Katie! Christopher!
They can shut their chicken tone, chicken bone, Google Chrome, no home flip phone, disown ice cream cone, garden gnome, student loan, full-blown Indiana Jones, overgrown Flintstone, X and Y chromosome, red zone, Sylvester Stallone, AutoZone, professionally seen silver Patron, head the fuck up, okay? How you doing? I can't. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really, really do appreciate your time. It gets a little heavy sometimes. So when we get 1,000 or more thumbs up, we have a chicken party. If you're not, if you're new here, so that's what we do. The rap is the best. Yeah. See, I'm a poet and didn't know it either. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining. Take good care of yourselves. Really do appreciate you being here. Special thanks to mods, members, and chat. Really, really do appreciate you all. Hopefully, Nancy gets justice soon. This has been, 70 days, but it has been the longest 70 days of any case I feel like I have ever covered. It's just been so much in the last 70 days. It's just been nuts, really nuts. It feels like it's been the longest case I've ever covered, to be honest with you. But hopefully it's sooner than later. Hopefully Quantico will get back something. It feels like 70 years. I know. I feel, you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the video of Rose from the Titanic. It's been 84 years. That's what it feels like. Is it, or how many years did she say? Is it been? She says it's a lot. Thank you so much, Candy Corn. Appreciate you. My hair is grayer. Same. All right, guys. Thank you all. Take good care of yourselves. Really, really do appreciate your time. Justice from Nancy Guthrie. Good night, everyone. God bless.